Hi Pisces, welcome to your May 2022 Taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Pisces, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So, for your actions and interactions with the world at large over the course of May already, can you believe it, 2022, you have the Seven of Cups. So you've got this here in your actions and interactions with the world at large, right? And the first thing that I want to say to you is this may be a time where this could be a time of self-illusory tendencies, all right? And what I want to say with this, so this card is called the Lord of Illusory Success. But for me, when this card shows up, sometimes it's where we're trying to convince ourselves that we want something or that we should take a certain path, when the deepest part of us is kind of saying, actually, that's not what I want. It's not what I need. This is a time where you're going to have to be really, I would say this month, self-honesty needs to be your policy, because otherwise you're likely to end up taking a path or a route that is not going to be very good for you, that's not actually going to help you in any way. Excuse me. Especially because it is the Seven of Cups as well. So it's like this could be a month where you're going to have to guard against your own escapist behaviors and or tendencies. So you've got to be really honest with yourself, Pisces. Ask yourself why it is that you want what you're telling yourself that you want at this moment in time. For your communications and conversations, you have the Judgment card, okay? So big changes coming in, and interestingly enough, you are in the midst of a massive regeneration of self. Just think about everything that's happening astrologically, everything that went through the sign of Aquarius. For those of you that are ascendant Pisceans, to a lesser degree, the sun and the moon, but still relevant. You had so much energy coming back like through Capricorn and then into Aquarius, and you know, and then into your sign as well. It's like this massive sort of ramping up of changes that have been taking place for you for a long time. Certainly over the last sort of, let's say the last year and a half, but this last 6 months has probably been quite intense for a lot of you. And that Judgment card this month in your communications, especially with the Seven of Cups, the changes that are taking place right now have a lot to do with what is really for your highest good and for your highest benefit. But you are having to really take a moment to kind of say to yourself, is this the right path for me? And with that Judgment card, this could be a time where something comes up from your past because you are focused on it. So this might be a moment where you really do need to check your intention, your alignment, and especially your energy right now. If you're noticing that things and people and situations are coming up from the past, and this isn't about like, oh, this is all your fault. It's getting, and what I'm trying to do is to bring you to your own consciousness. It's so powerful at the moment with your, you know, your own ruler, Jupiter in your sign, Neptune in your sign. You are literally a spiritual magnet right now. And so your focus, your attention and your intention has to be at that higher level. Because if you're getting a lot more of things that you don't want or things that echo your past, it's because you're drawing them to you. So find a way to switch that vibration up, right? For your heart and half sector, you've got the Three of Pentacles. So you've got this next to the Judgment card, right? This, for those of you that are partnered, married or in long-term commitments, this could be some really powerful learning that's taking place between you and a partner. This could also be a time at which your partner is trying to give you advice, but you don't want to take it. There could be a battle of wills going on with this kind of energy, because it's like your partner's maybe trying to give you information and you're like, well, you know, I don't feel that that's the right thing, or it's like it doesn't sit right with you because it goes against this sort of need for things to be a certain way, right? And I kind of want to say to you, that's not the highest sort of expression of you, Pisces, all right? For those of you that are single, the Three of Pentacles with the Judgment card, this represents somebody coming in that's likely to smack you between the eyes. And when they show up, you might be very surprised at who it is or how it is that they kind of connect or mesh into your own life. This may also be a time where you're meeting someone through either some sort of personal learning or something that you're trying to take on board. So the feeling that I get from this is, it's almost like you're meeting somebody in a learning sphere, but it doesn't have to be like in a classroom or even at an online course. It may be you're going through, maybe you're trawling through the internet and joining groups in order to learn more about a certain subject, and someone in that sphere ends up being sort of like, you know, you end up catching each other's eye. For your money and materials, you've got the King of Pentacles. This always bodes very well for your money. The reason being is, for me, the King of Pentacles, this is promotion energy. This is like getting to that next level of your finances. This is material security and stability in all senses. You couple that with the Three of Pentacles, and this gives you a recipe for success when it comes to ideas that you have that you share with the right people. However, this is not a time to convince yourself that you can suddenly do a backflip, even though you haven't done one in 15 years or ever. You're not suddenly going to be able to do you know what I mean? Like, we're not quite at that level of downloading just yet. We're getting there, but I mean, I don't know, actually, maybe, because Pisces, you know, you've got a lot of big energy going through your sign at the moment, so maybe. For your first week of the month, you've got the Temperance card with the Seven of Cups. It's going to be really easy to fool yourself this month, my dear Pisces, especially in this first week of the month. This could be a time where you're trying to convince yourself that the drama that's taking place has nothing to do with you, when actually you're being really asked to check in with your energy, your alignment. Where are your thoughts? Where are your energies? What are you manifesting right now? That's going to show you where your mind actually is. You know, sorry to tell you guys off, but you got to get it together this month, right? You with this much big energy moving through your sign, especially because by the time we get to the second week of the month, Jupiter, your ruler, is going to start to move into the sign of, it will already move into the sign of Aries. So, you know, rant over. For your second week of the month, you've got the Death card, coupled with the Judgment card. So I'm really sorry to say this. All right, so the Judgment card coupled with the Death card is one of, so usually this combination represents physical death. All right, and what this also suggests to me is, by the time we get to the second week of the month, whatever big changes have been evolving in your life, they will be complete for now. This is a moment at which you can kind of look around and survey the land and say, okay, a lot's happened in, 18 months really is quite a short time, to be fair. But a lot has happened in a recent period of time. This will be the moment at which you can breathe, where you can kind of take your foot off the pedal and say, okay, where am I actually at? And what is the next step? This could be actually this second week of the month, once the dust settles. This could be a great time, probably the third week of the month actually, could be a great time for you to start thinking about a bigger action plan about where you want to be. For your third week of the month, you've got the High Priestess coupled with the Death card. For those of you that have mediumistic tendencies, this middle point of the month is going to be off the charts, right? This also, the second and specifically the third week of the month, if you have any mediums in your repertoire of readers, this would be a really powerful time to get that kind of reading, and specifically a mediumship reading. So obviously do your due diligence, make sure you check in to see if it's the right person. I had a reading with a medium in 2021. Sad to say, this person wasn't very good, and I wish I'd gone to the original person that I'd thought of, but I didn't think about it until much too late. But this would be a time, like, do your due diligence, check in. in, read the reviews. Are they any good? What do other people say? All of that kind of stuff. But yeah, this would be a really good time to get that kind of a read. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, like I said, there's something that your partner's sharing with you this month that it's like you don't want to hear it, but it may be good information. The other thing is with that High Priestess, remember this is maybe things that are being divulged to you through the dreamscape, all right? And then for those of you that are single, this is not a month to be too idealistic about what somebody can deliver in a dating situation. All right, this might be a time where you come to realize actually this person's unavailable because that's how they are, which doesn't bode well for the future. All right, so just stuff to think about. And then your 4th week of the month, you've got the Judgment card. So you've got a double hit of this Judgment card energy. The career looks like it's going to go from strength to strength. The finances, the money is good. There is a big change coming to your finances this month. For some of you, I would say 4th week of the month, play the lotto. 4th week of the month, look into that investment, right? This is, I mean, it's a challenging month because we're off the back of the eclipse season, the second or the bookend of which is going to take place here in Scorpio. So we'll look at that now. Actually, on May the 16th, we've got a full moon lunar eclipse. Remember, these unpack over time. It's not just a this is the date and it's done. There's way more to it than that. An eclipse in the sign of Scorpio for you is in the 9th house. This is where you connect to the universal mind and or consciousness. This is where, you know, your prayers go to whatever you believe or perceive is out there. This can be the space of legal matters, visas, anything that connects you to the international realm as well. For some of you, this could, I mean, you know, especially because of the eclipse as well, and you've got a double hit of the Judgment card. For some of you, this could be a job offer that has like an international feel or flavor to it that takes you completely by surprise or out of your comfort zone. For that, you have the gate 48 and depth. Anything that happens in Scorpio is deep. So the fact that you've got an eclipse in that 9th house space, it wouldn't surprise me if some of you had very, very spiritual experiences around the 16th or as a result of whatever happens from that point, because it is going to be an activation of sorts. Very interesting. So then you've got the new moon on the 30th in the sign of Gemini. That's happening in your that's happening in your 3rd house. This is, excuse me, this is going to be all to do with your, no, that's not right, is it? That's in your 4th house, I apologize. This is going to be in your home, family sector. So it is a new moon. This is a fresh start or a new beginning in some way. This could be maybe some new addition to the family starts to show up from here. For some, this could be pregnancy. For others, it could be a new pet. For some of you, this could literally be the start of the journey towards a new home. Very possible. And then for this, you have the gate 38 and fighter. I love this card because it always says that whatever the beginning or the root origin of something, that's why it's got the lotus flower, it doesn't matter as long as you're willing to fight and strive for what you have or what you envision your life to be. The results, the big rewards are absolutely there for you. And the message behind the lotus flower is, I don't know if any of you know this, you might have heard me say it before, the lotus blooms from like the dirtiest, shittiest water. It grows into what is revered as one of the most beautiful flowers in the world. And did you know that a lotus seed can survive up to 1,000 years, which is insane? So not only are they symbols of beauty and what's the word, determination and grit effectively, but they're also symbols of immortality as well. So this is a time where you really want to think deeply around that new moon about what it is that you're trying to set into motion when it comes to your home life. Set an intention for or around that. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic month. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.